was Damon Wilson on drugs in the last two seasons of Sanford and Son, seasons 5 and 6? I think he probably was because in the 1970s, a lot of black men, black women were doing a lot of heavy drugs in the 70s. The 70s was a very controversial year. I believe he was pretty much high in the last two seasons of Sanford and Son. He was, most people noticed that he didn't seem energetic. He seemed kind of like stoned. He was dazed. He was always wearing shades. He never showed his eyes. He seemed to be kind of like in a lifeless state. He was kind of always just didn't care. He was kind of boring in the last two seasons. If you watch the first three seasons of Sanford and Son, you see that he was more energetic. He was more hyperactive. He was more angry, violent. As the seasons progress, maybe because it could be most would say, well, maybe because of his age. Sometimes when people get older, they start becoming more mature. They become less, they start to become more adult-like. They don't, they lose energy. They get more, they don't have that much adrenaline in them. I think because, and he had done the show for like 5 or 6 years. So maybe it's either one, two things. I think it was a combination of both. I think he was bored with the TV show. He had been doing the show for 4 or 5 years. He wanted to do other things with his life. And then, I think he was on drugs or was high during some episodes of the show. I think he's also missing in a couple of episodes of season 5 and 6. I don't know. It could have been depression, maybe. I think he was married too, so he might have had problems with his marriage, maybe his family life. We don't know much about his personal life. I think Damon Wilson has wrote a book about his life, which I think you people should read. But as far as it could be a lot of things. The stress. Sometimes when you're working, you have to do it. The directors start yelling at you. They have to take. They tell you what to do, and sometimes they're very controlling. Then you got to spend maybe like 8 to 10 hours on set every day. You got to go. You got to go home, go to work. I think it's everything here: family life, work life, his own personal life. So whatever he had problems, you can see it on the show. He was always wearing glasses. In the last two seasons of Sanford and Son, he just didn't seem like the Lamont we knew from the pilot episode. If you watch the pilot episode of Sanford and Son and you watch the last episode, you see the major change in his appearance. His personality changes. He seems more, calm. He just didn't seem him and their interactions between him and the Lamont and Fred is different from seasons 1 and then seasons 5 and 6. But I think a lot of people notice that his a lot of people are confused as to why his I think because he was on drugs, that he didn't seem like the Lamont we knew from the earlier seasons where he was more realistic and like most black men are. He was a typical black guy. But that's it, Mr. J here. Peace.